Honeybee, queen of the open mic on WRTR, Real Talk Radio, at Honeybee 1980 on Twitter.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Honeybee with another edition of Honeybee's Open Mic on WRTR Real Talk Radio, where I feature poets, authors, motivational speakers, and the like. So if you want to be featured on Honeybee's Open Mic, make sure you hit me up on Twitter at Honeybee1980 or our station at WRTR Radio or on Facebook at WRTR Real Talk Radio, and I'll definitely get you on. So in the studio, he is no stranger to WRTR, but he may be a stranger to you new viewers under RadioVPS. We have spoken word musician Bonez. How you doing today?
Good to be here. Feeling good, honey.
All right. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Absolutely. You know, third time is always a charm.
Yeah, it's beautiful. This is a nice thing. Congratulations.
How you like the new dig?
It's beautiful. It's really nice. Like, I was finally able to get back to work. It's nice to see you guys, like, taking a step up. This is really good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. Thank you so very much.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell all of our old viewers and new viewers a little bit about yourself and all about Bonez?
Yeah, sure. I perform under the name Bonez. Bonez is basically like the core of us. Like, you know, years and years from now, like when the decomposers and the maggots are done with us, that's what remains. You know, that's the core of us. And Dark Knight Records is the website. DARKNIGHT Records. Dark Knight Records is a platform. You know, with it's a crazy time we live in, because now the power of the spoken word has the same reach as the power of the written word.
Absolutely.
For the first time in history. So like in the age of podcasts and videos and independent recording and media, you know, you do have a reach like never before. So Dark Knight Records is a platform for not just spoken word, hip hop and music, but also for like getting it right one bit at a time, like every day, like, you know, improving yourself, whether it be like through your business or through the way you parent or through the way you study. You know, that's what Dark Knight Records is, you know.
That's awesome. Yeah. So what got you into writing, like, originally?
Well, music has always been fun. I mean, since growing up on Michael Jackson, Jazzy Jeff, Fresh Prince. Like, my first cassette was He's the DJ, I'm the Rapper. Mm-hmm. Like, that's how far back it goes with that, and it was a fun thing. Like, to be able to say so much in so little time, that was unique about hip-hop. You could get 16 bars or however many bars and say a lot in a short amount of time. So reciting other people's rhymes was fun. And then, like, my brother Randolph, he got me into, like, writing my own at, like, 15, 16. From then, it's just been taking different twists and turns, and it's grown as I've grown as a person. My art has changed and evolved, and now 2018, I've made some new updates. I've updated the website. I've put out a new piece called The Finger. That's a free download. Everybody can get it at darkknightrecords.com. And I'm basically trying to show that different side of hip-hop, because I hear a lot of talk about hip-hop these days, whether it's Kanye or mumble rap or independent rappers, and they talk about, like, hip-hop as in, like, it used to be good. And I'm here to say, like, no, you just got to dig deep. Like, hip-hop is still very much hip-hop.
Yes, it is. I consider you more of... I do consider you, of course, a spoken word poet.
Sure.
I consider you a rapper as well, even though rap is poetry, if you ask me.
Different hats.
Absolutely. But I also consider you an activist.
All right.
Because you speak so... if anyone doesn't know anything about Bonez, but Bonez speaks the truth. He talks about political side of things and how he really feels, and actually how most of us actually feel about what's going on in politics nowadays. But how do you feel when people consider you, or, you know, actually say that you're an activist?
I understand it. I've even used the word a time or two. Like when the day of the Women's March, I introduced myself on the open mic as hip hop artist and activist, because that was kind of the language they speak. So immediately you say the word activist and they're listening. So I've had to use the language because I understand it. I wouldn't introduce myself that way, but I understand activist being like a person who's active in whatever it is they're doing.
Yes.
And if that's in that sense, then yes, I'm very much active in getting my 2 cents out there about whether it's Trump or Kanye or my side of the story or life events or telling somebody else's story. You know, that's my platform once again. So it's hip hop is something that affects everybody, and current events are beautifully expressed in hip hop and lyric, I think. And that's part of the reason why I do it.
Absolutely. Now, speaking of Kanye, what is your take or your view on all this stuff that he has to say?
He's a very interesting character, like in and of himself. Michael Eric Dyson, the author, he recently put out a book called What the Truth Sounds Like. He calls Kanye a genius, and he states his case, and I have a lot of respect for the brother, even though I disagree with a lot of things he says. And then there's a side where like Kanye is crazy and people are like saying all kinds of negative stuff. For me, he just seems like a person who hasn't grown up. So I'm just like, what else do you expect? Like people say he hasn't been the same since his mom died. That kind of trauma, like people having that one bad day could just like, and you might never recover. He may have been that close to his mom that like, had that turned out differently, she maybe still be alive. He wouldn't be what he is now. Who knows? There's a passage in the Bible, I think, goes there, but by the grace of God go I. In other words, that another person, that's me in another lifetime, under a different circumstance, that's me. So any one of us could be Kanye. I try not to judge the brother. He's very comical and amusing and irritating at the same time. He makes pretty good music sometimes, but I don't know what he's thinking sometimes. Like the stuff that he says, like in the finger, I say, or the sad man child with a million toys pulling everyday Kanye's. It was a choice. Like he's kind of that kid who never grew up, who's got all the toys in the world. He's got a millions of followers, a studio. He can put out a message and it goes viral overnight. He's got a lot of toys, but I feel like he needs to do a little bit of growing up. I don't think there's anything wrong with the brother. I think I think everybody can change, put it that way. You know, he's not beyond saving, but I'm not with what he's saying.
Now, one thing I do admire about you is your positivity and the response you just gave about Kanye. That was extremely positive. Like, you you don't agree with what he says, but you wish him well.
No.
Well, let me ask you something. Hypothetically, if Kanye was your friend, if you guys were close friends, and the things that were going on that he's doing now, like a lot of people are saying he hasn't been the same since his mom passed, but as a friend, if Kanye was a close friend to you, what would you do as far as, like, what would you say to him? Man. How would you be there for him?
I think the way they put it these days is keep it 100. My friends and I argue. We talk some shit, but it's always like an honest conversation. Like it's always from like, I have this concern, and sometimes because when you talk about things that are important, you're bound to make people uncomfortable, and people get uncomfortable and resentful, and like emotions get touched, and it doesn't always pan out right. You mean well, you want to start the conversation for this reason, but then it turns out a different reason. So as a friend, I might tell that brother exactly how I feel, and he might tell me exactly how he feels, and we might go our separate ways and learn nothing. But there's not a 0% chance in trying to help your friends. So I imagine if he was my friend, I might not blacklist him, not delete him from my contacts. I'd try to be there, be like, what the fuck, like grow up. But at the same time, you're still in my phone, but we're still, there's an open line of communication, and you're welcome to change at any time.
Okay, awesome. So getting back to Bonez, what is your inspiration? What's your why, your reason for waking up and getting up every morning?
Number one, the family, like the people closest to me, because these days, like, you're not 18 and 17 and 21 and 25 anymore. And after I'm 37, and that carries a big responsibility with it, because as a performer or a hip hop artist, whatever you want to call it, whatever you say has to count for something. There's a chapter in the book, 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson, called Pursue What Is Meaningful, Not What Is Expedient. And a line in Iron Man, in Buck and Chains that I wrote was, I wouldn't get on the mic just for fortune and fame, but I do it because I have something important to say. That's 2004, and that's how I felt ever since. Like, I don't want to get on the mic just to spit a hot bar. I want to spit on the mic because like something is happening in the world and I can't keep quiet about it, whether it's in my family or out there in the streets or out there in another country. That's my get up and go in the morning. Like some things are not right. They need to get talked about, whether it's by podcast, by blog, by spoken word, by beat and rhyme, whatever it is. We have to not ignore certain things, because I think that's where real suffering happens, not in the commission of crimes, but in the omission, in the crimes of omission, not acting when we know we should. And that's my get up and go.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And speaking of family life, there are some things that people say, like in the industry, well, it's hard. You have to be in a certain mindset to date or be married to like a poet or anyone in the art industry. How has that affected you or your situation? I know you're married, so has that affected you in any way, shape, or form? I
would say
because I know when it comes to like artists, you wake up in the middle of the night, you got a thought, you got to get up, you got to go.
Oh, absolutely. I would say to anybody who's doing the partner thing, understand who your person is. Don't try to change them. Rather, get to know what changes they want in themselves and help them get there. Not by your means, but by what they want to do. So being in any kind of relationship is like, I know where this person's at when they're waking up in the middle of the night. They're doing that, so I can go back to sleep because it's all good. You don't worry about people when you know their habits, and that's the thing. That's really the essence of hip hop, is the open communication. Is like saying what needs to be said in any relationship, on the microphone, at the workplace to a degree, being treated with respect, but also like in a partnership, a marriage, a relationship, a brotherhood is like a business. You got to have meetings on everything. You got to talk about, how do we feel about this? In what way were we idiots last week and last time that we argued, and how can we avoid that next time? So yeah, just knowing your artist, knowing your person, whether they're a nocturnal individual or whatever it is, just understand who you got in your life, appreciate them, and set boundaries, because you don't have to let everything and everybody in, and you don't have to let everything slide.
That's true.
You have to let it be known when somebody crosses the line with you. And that's it's there's a quote that again, the author Jordan Peterson, he said, the truth is a horrible thing, but not compared to falsehood. And I think that applies in hip hop and everywhere.
Okay, that's awesome. That's so true. So one last question before we get into your pieces. For someone who wants to pursue this, or someone who wants to pursue just either poetry or just has something to say, period, and they don't know where to go, where to turn to, what would be your advice for them?
Draw from experience, if not your own. Like, a lot of people feel like they maybe don't have anything to say. A lot of people, I hear one of the big things with young people, teenagers and young college students, is they don't know if they have a voice. They don't know what to say. I would say draw from any experience. If there's somebody you admire, read their autobiography, start there. You can write a poem about the life of Dick Gregory. You can write about the life of Da Vinci. You can write about your favorite MC, actor. Start with their experiences. Find parallels, see in what ways you're like, because like the old archetypal stories of like heroes and people that we imagine ourselves to be, they last a long time for a reason, because we like to imagine ourselves as the hero of our story. So like I would say, like, mimic people whose success is similar to what you want to see in your life. And discard what's not useful. If there's toxic relationships in your life, like I said, set boundaries. You can't be there for everybody, and you gotta take care of you, because who else is gonna do that?
Absolutely. That is so very true. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow you to go in and introduce your first piece. All
right. This is a new piece I put out called The Finger. It's available. It's a download on darknightrecords.com. On the homepage, you'll see the link. The lyrics of the website are coded with over a dozen links to other things. So like in the lyric, you can not just see the lyric of the song, but like you can click on it and it takes you to like a link or a video expanding on the idea and why I put that, including the Kanye line. So this is a short piece called The Finger. It don't matter if you're 17 or 21 or flowing through your 40s. If you hold a mic, get it done. Slow, tiptoe to the goal. Nope, better run it. Ain't about likes, get love, man. Forget a thumb. Rich or broke, if there's a glimpse of hope, you don't gotta be a go to have the sickest flow. If they hate, give them a finger. Let a critic know that they can lick and blow and watch the inches grow. Your lyrical skills don't exist like a vegan burger at Five Guys, and you know what is beef, it's murder. And I don't want to make no enemies. Please alert your peoples not to take the situation even further. This real hip-hop and MCs get nervous when they play my MP3s or my CDs inserted. Your instrumental fires, but beneath the surface, you're a mediocre joker. Without the beats, you're worthless. All your music really does is get the speakers working. Dark night, black mics, black sheets and curtains. I'm an old school writer, loose leaf and cursive. Hot since the 90s, and I keeps it burning. What is that mumble rap, man? You hardly a beast. In fact, you more like weeds in the garden of Eden. Y'all be saying I'm dead like your heart isn't beating. Gotta clean out the junk with flossing your teeth. The cerebral enema is what you all are in need of. Running around and going nowhere, lost in a rerun. You're so damn slow, you're still falling for these nuts. Whoops, made you look like a brawl with a D cup. See, I have to insist that you don't have to get pissed or get jealous of the fact I got a bag full of tricks. My pen's poison ivy with a passionate kiss, and we don't have to throw fists, cause don't want a tragic event. We gotta come together like we sandwiching it. You're fucking yourself, and it's bad for your hips, so don't act like a bitch and grow up. 18 don't mean a man. You're so dumb, gonna have to resist. You don't wanna be a Peter Pan and go nuts. You're afraid to face some responsibility. Yeah, Halo's fake. You ain't on some killing spree, spraying flames. What's y'all's ability? My brain's in pain, so I'ma spark a little weed and kill the noise. Them little boys all bark, no bars, no skill or poise. With a sad man child with a million toys, pulling everyday Kanye's. It was a choice. Get bars, add weight, and then raise them up. Find some Easter eggs. Ready Player One. I don't go to work full time, but me retire. Ridiculous nonsense. Jesus Christ, you're too goddamn high. Put down the weed and lighters. Hip hop's not dead, it just needs revivals. And if you still doubt M and that he is fire, get that Kamikaze album and be inspired. Let's go.
And that was The Finger.
Thank you.
I do believe that hip hop is reviving, and I do appreciate you for actually being one of those people who are actually reviving hip hop. I love political statements. I love people keep it real. I love conscious rap, because a lot of this rap that I hear nowadays was like, what are you talking about? What are you saying?
Yeah.
What? Because there are only certain rappers that I like, and I'm not going to name names, but yeah, there are only certain rappers that I do like, and it's more of the conscious stuff, more people who say what's real and what's not.
Right.
And unfortunately, you don't see a lot of that in mainstream. You do not, because these record companies like gimmicks, unfortunately. But I do appreciate you still pushing, still doing your thing. Dark Knight Records for life. That's how I feel.
That's where it is.
Absolutely.
Welcome to the new website. I actually made a whole bunch of website updates. It's a lot more mobile friendly. All kinds of social media platforms just a click away. So check it out. It's a breeze to go through. Lyrics, links, and all that stuff. It's just it's not just about the beats, bars, rhymes, and life. It's about the expanding the conversation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you got another piece for me?
I got another piece. It's actually, I'm going to break one out from the album Long Dark Night called Persistence, because really I don't know how more fundamental something can get, like persisting at whatever it is you do.
Yep.
And giving it the go no matter what happens. So this is a bit from the piece called Persistence from the album Long Dark Night. It goes, it's about facing odds, saying I have to beat this, like the Prince of Zamunda chasing after Lisa, sharpening your saw so you can hack a deep cut. You can have a real woman or keep tapping cheap sluts, digging in your pants for your platinum visa. You can freestyle or you can write a master thesis. You can take bad advice from ass backwards people, or learn from your own mistakes, cause man, you need to. It's all about having no shame in your game. Don't be the one that take the dignity and trade it for fame. Get to chillaxing every now and then and lay in the shade, and when you're ready to get pumped like an inflatable dame, put the pedal to the metal and remember to breathe. And when you get an instrumental, be that better MC. Every letter that you pen and better definitely be incredible. You get to represent for the beat, so make it bang hardcore like a conjugal visit, cause the game's all yours if you're on top of your business. Little rainfall point shouldn't bother your picnic. Remain y'all's course and stay strong to the finish. It's all about persistence. Duke it out to round 70. Stomp a Shelby villain by the hometown lemon tree. Even if you come out of the wind missing 11 teeth, live to see your firstborn born some November week. Live to see your childhood homie getting married. Get together, act the fool like you're Mo Curly and Larry. Get to look and pimp and pay a visit to the hair cutter. And if he don't do you right, he don't get a nair nutter. Live to see the family pet, Coco Bear, what up? I make it obvious to y'all like a scared stutter. It's B-O-N to the ease, your long haired brother from another mother. F for ucker player, shut up and just go to work. Thank you.
Awesome, so awesome. I want to thank you so very much
for
coming. You gonna stay for the rest of the show?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick around.
Okay, make sure you give everybody your social media information. Let everybody know about your website as well.
Absolutely. darknightrecords.com, DARKNIGHT records.com. That's the home, that's the hub. You can get links to all the social media from there. Bonez, aka DVS, everywhere else. So check it out.
Yes, once again, I want to thank you so much for coming out.
You're very
I'm
welcome.
looking forward
Thank
to you staying for the rest of the show.
All right.
So playing us out. Actually, I want you to introduce what we're playing you out with.
This is going to be a track called What Could Go Wrong, number 2 off of the Back to School mixtape. It's a free download. That's my latest big project. Back to School is basically getting back to work and getting to whatever you're passionate about. Go to work.
All right. So what could go wrong? Playing us out. WRTR,
Peace.
Real Talk Radio.